We'll call to order the Public Works and Utility Committee meeting. Attendance has been taken. Will you please join me in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll open the floor for comments from citizens. Seeing none, we will close comments from citizens. Move on to water and sewer. The activity reports in the packet. Anything you'd like to point out, sir?
Just like my maintenance stuff this last month, still installing more registers, the new meters, and we've got about almost half of them installed now. We'll be waiting on the second shipment of them now, so.
Seeing any improvement yet, or
Yeah,
from the number of reads?
yeah, Matt and Sam up at City Hall figured out, and they called somebody and figured out that some of the repeaters were on the wrong frequency, which solved a lot of it, so. Still have our outlying ones out in the country that we'll still have to get some manual reads on, because we don't have to provide electric close enough to them.
Makes sense. Okay. Any questions about the activity report? Anything specific for water and sewer? You do see pictures before, during, and after of work on
Animal shelter.
yeah, the animal shelter. It's been a long day. Definitely nice work.
Yeah, so I think, and I don't know if there's any outstanding bills still on that, when we checked today, and those numbers came in, I think we're just shy of 5,000 that we spent on that, budgeted for 10, so definitely did a great job. They even had to probably do a little extra on the framing portion, but they did a good job fixing that up.
And it's contracting out with a lot more than the 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice work, thank you. Okay, then there's a note in here about hydrant metering fees.
Yeah, so right now, whenever a contractor, boring contractor, or if a homeowner wants to fill their pool, the contractor or homeowner is billed per 1,000 gallons of water. So if they need, a lot of contractors come in and get 2,000 gallons of water, comes up to like less than $10 is what we give. And I kind of broke down we don't have to have two guys to go set it up, but most times we have two guys to go set it up just because they're in the truck headed to another job and they stop and set it up. And then with some of the homeowners on the filling up swimming pools, we roll out hoses, roll hoses back up for them. I just kind of put a breakdown on there, kind of what it costs us whenever we set that meter up, take the meter down, and then billing out the billing on it.
Safety wise, I'd say you should have two guys out there regardless, because
Yeah.
people doing work, you never know, accidents do happen.
So the total estimate for our cost is $98.52, correct?
Right, and
That's a loss.
not even including how much.
Yeah,
water
that's
they use.
not including
That's
any of the
just
water.
labor.
No, I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
you said we bring in about 9, I'm comparing what we're gonna
Yeah.
get revenue versus if it's a one-time event, right?
Yeah,
And to me, we need to, if people got pools or contractors or wanting water or whatever, I think they need to pay for it as other cities do, because that helps offset cost or profitability or breaking even for the water department, which means we can keep the rates at a better rate for the overall constituency of people. You know, we're having a hard time with our infrastructure cost and the cost of everything for all of our utilities. And so I'm all in favor of coming up with a number of, you've got on here $50 to $100. Well, if we've got $98 in cost, $100, I think if you want your pool, it's worth the $100 because you're spending a lot more than that in chemicals.
yeah.
during the summer, lots of them.
And this falls in line with the other things we talked about. We don't wanna go in the red on them, we're not trying to make money on it, but we don't wanna go in the red on them. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, $100 for each setup, because there's gonna be a tear down that comes with it.
How many of these will you do in a year's time?
It kind of all depends on what's going on around. This year, we've had one big contractor with a solar farm going on north of town. But when they were using it, we set it up and it's still set up for them, so it's a one-time setup for them. But they were using, I think they used somewhere around 100,000 gallons of water. So we were able to recoup some of the stuff there. We get calls all the time of people needing 2,000 gallons. I'd say probably this year we've probably had 10 or so contractors that come in, and this year we didn't have a whole lot of the swimming pools around town. In years past, we have had quite a few swimming pools that we've had to go fill and everything. But it just all depends on if there's a lot of boring going on around town, or what's going on.
So $100 plus the cost of water makes sense to everybody?
Coach or cost.
Yeah.
Coach or cost is what it's.
So we're not trying to make money, but we shouldn't go in the.
We're not gouging anybody, I mean, but it costs us that, so,
Yeah.
makes sense we get it back.
Would you want for there to be, some cities charge for like, with the company who's doing the solar, they would charge a monthly fee, so it'd be the initial setup, and then like we have with our water customers, there's a,
Have a meter fee.
we have a meter fee, so I didn't know if we wanted to include anything like that, if we wanted to have, for ongoing services, we have the initial setup, and then there's the ongoing fee per month that they're using the water.
It makes sense.
Mhm.
And treat it like any other water customer. I mean, just $100 setup fee and like a water customer, beyond that.
I mean, yeah. Proposal.
I mean, is there more work?
So the way that we can do
figuring out how
is
much-
set it up as the meter fee, the fee that we charge for the meter every month for our customers, it could be, do you agree?
Yeah.
That it could be that meter fee and then whatever extra to build it up to that $100 for the setup.
Then they pay for water bill.
And then, yeah, you still pay for
Yeah,
water.
so we're getting the income off the water.
So you get, and then the recurring months would just be meter fee plus whatever they use in water.
I think it makes sense.
And we have like a base rate, just like we do.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a very abnormal situation. It's not very often that we
Have
have.
somebody sets up and keeps
Yeah,
and uses it.
right, yeah, this solar farm, I think, is probably
But if
the
we
first
have,
time we've ever actually had to keep it
but
on.
if we have that already.
Yeah, we got that in place,
It's ready to take care of that
Right,
situation.
yeah, so for the most part, citizens, contractors, one-time fee is gonna be that $100 plus.
Right,
plus
understood.
them.
Yeah. Any more discussion on the hydrant metering fees? Okay, we'll move on to electric. Activity reports in the packet. Anything to point out?
Yeah, we've just been, we've cut a few trees, done some line clearance, set 10 or 12 temps out at North Point around town. About to be new services, done 10 or 12 streetlights around town. Done a lot of work out at Jim Butler, getting ready to pull in wire tomorrow. We got all that wire that we ordered, gonna pull in all that tomorrow with MPUA. They're bringing their pulling machine up, that'll help a lot. Set 2 poles over there on 22 for them, and then ran that pole line for Bryce Gibbler on 22 for that new subdivision. So, also changed 2 poles out on Bruton from that storm a few weeks ago, so.
Any questions on the activity report?
You fixed, this is very important stuff here, but you fixed the lights in the center of the square. Did you fix the bulb or did you fix the outlets?
It was actually the breaker was shut off on one of the breakers. Someone flipped the breaker off.
That's all it was?
Yeah, that's all it was.
See,
That's all it was. Someone flipped the
We
breaker.
called
The Christmas
every,
lights don't work.
every person, the guy who used to be here for 20-some years, we called him and he said, I've got no idea how that stuff ran. And for some reason, these guys went over and checked the breaker and flipped it on and they came on, so.
We tried fault finding
For
it.
about 2 months now, we've been stumped and it was
Just
a,
flip the switch.
Yeah. We tried fault locating it and couldn't find a fault, and then we were like, well,
Good.
Well, let's be
Our
honest.
equipment likes to be on this year up there in the middle. Good job.
I haven't noticed, but, you know, we talked about those street lights that were on all the time.
yeah.
Have we taken care of them?
yeah, so they fixed a couple of them. I think the Butler Supply guys getting you
Yeah.
guys new, photo eyes,
You said it's
from
from-
the manufacturer itself, I think, is the problem.
Yeah, they
If you notice, McDonald's are on all the time also,
Mhm.
their parking lot, so I think it's just one of the problems that has popped up here in the last couple of years
Gotcha.
we
for some reason.
we called them, and I guess the manufacturer sent us lights that are wired backwards. So that's why it's not really the photo eye. So it's the lights that are wired backwards, and we've installed all these lights, and I think we're gonna test all the lights we have in stock and see if they work, and if they don't, they said we can strip them all back and they'll send us all brand new ones, so.
Good. Okay.
Any other questions for electric? Move on to public works, activity reports in the packet, if you'd like to point out.
Oh, pretty busy month. We did a lot of drainage work, some culverts for homeowners and some ditch cleaning. Did several street repairs, sign work. Got all our landfills mowed up this month, getting everything wrapped up mowing wise.
Have you seeded the Jefferson project?
Yeah, that's all, yeah, Jefferson's all seeded and strawed and completely wrapped up now.
Excellent.
And now we're just getting a few things ready on some streets before Christensen comes in to pave, so trying to get a few things wrapped up before they get here.
Do we know when they're coming?
Hopefully the next week or two.
Any other questions for Public Works? Move on to Public Works and Utilities Director report. Anything you'd like to point out, sir?
As of, and I think we're gonna talk a little bit more about it, at the next meeting, but as of right now, we are basically done with the wastewater upgrade project. We're waiting on DNR to come down and do their final inspection. And then Bartlett may have some punch list items throughout the whole project that they want cleaned up, but as far as, the overall construction goes, should be complete. Been a long time to say that. but,
I think we need to celebrate.
Yeah.
Maybe let's wait till the DNR
Yeah.
inspection.
I think they were scheduling that, they should be probably, either at the end of this month or early in October, getting that cleaned up. And then we'll just wait for Bartlett's blessing on what they want to get it finished up and get everything signed off.
Matt, I see you've got here this, us going to look at that 115 Reed Street.
Yeah.
I sent him an email that it was a project. ready to
Yeah, I spoke to him about another issue and he
proceed.
said
And
that.
he wanted a visit. I said, okay, I'll come. What time you want to meet? So he set up a time, and about 30 minutes before I was supposed to go, he called and said, no, just cancel, we'll have to reschedule. We never
Okay.
rescheduled.
Yeah, I talked to him about a separate issue, and he basically said, I'll just handle it, and, okay, so,
Okay.
until it comes back up, we'll leave it alone.
Anything else?
Actually, well, the, Kimco Slaker went, to the manufacturer, to be fabricated Friday.
So the drawings are.
So drawings were
For
approved.
the manufacturers.
So they have started the process of fabrication.
Wonderful. That's two bits of good news.
Yeah, that's just, won't get too crazy, but.
Now, what happened with the people over on Columbia Street? I know there's nobody over there.
Any as may arise?
On Columbia Street and stuff.
Make a motion to
I
adjourn.
mean, what to do?
Yeah.
Have a first and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
The loan
Any opposed?
needed to go on.
Oh.
We are adjourned.